I acknowledge the traditional owners of this land and pay my respects to the elders past and present.
Welcome, family and friends, to the VU Primary Humanities Information Session. The 3-4 team is happy and excited to share with you our plan for 2018. So, what is humanities education and why is it just as important as English and maths? The humanities and social sciences are the study of human behaviour and interaction in social, cultural, environmental, economic and political context. Australian humanities and social science provides your children with a broad understanding of how people can participate actively as informed citizens with high skills needed for the 21st century. Skills that enable our students to comprehend the world that they live in, to develop a capacity to face challenges they encounter within their lifetime, and make appropriate decisions, which in turn will shape their identities and value their belonging within dynamic and culturally diverse societies in which they interconnect. Humanities education is comprised of 4 separate substrands: history, economics, geography, and business. The Year 3-4s will be exploring history, where they'll develop not only a curiosity and enjoyment for historical study, but an understanding of themselves and others. They'll also be looking at geography, where the children will develop holistic understandings of the world and appreciate places, people, culture, and environment throughout the globe. Not only will your children be gaining knowledge and information this year, they will also develop some essential skills: compassion for other people, animals, and the environment, justice for what is right and an empowerment to make a difference, empathy for those who are not as lucky as themselves, and equality for all, no matter what colour, religion, race, or identity. Through their learning this year, our students will be able to develop the ability to question, think critically and solve problems, the ability to make decisions and adapt to change, and to communicate with their teacher and others effectively. There are some essential priorities that your children will explore across the curriculum as well. We will be looking closely at Asia and Australia's engagement with Asia, sustainability, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures. In our school, we believe that Indigenous perspectives must be included in our teaching practice. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander studies are extremely important, not only because it's part of our Australian history, but also it teaches the children to be accepting of people and cultures and to create a positive change within the society and the world that they live in. The Australian curriculum sets the national standards to improve learning outcomes for all students. There is an identifiable gap in learning outcomes between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students and non-Indigenous students. In order to provide the best possible opportunities to close the gap, the Australian curriculum addresses 2 distinct needs in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander education. These are that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students are able to see themselves, their identities, and their cultures reflected in the curriculum of each of the learning areas, and can fully participate in the curriculum and build their self-esteem. And that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures cross-curriculum priority is designed for all students to engage in reconciliation, respect, and recognition of the world's oldest, continuous, living cultures. The key ideas involved in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures cross-curriculum priority are: Australia has 2 distinct Indigenous groups, Aboriginal peoples and Torres Strait Islander peoples, and within those groups there is significant diversity. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities maintain a special connection to and responsibility for country and place. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have holistic belief systems and are spiritually and intellectually connected to the land, sea, sky, and waterways. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander societies have many language groups. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's way of life are uniquely expressed through ways of being, knowing, thinking, and doing. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples live in Australia as First Peoples of country or place and demonstrate resilience in responding to historic and contemporary impacts of colonisation. The broader Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander societies encompass a diversity of nations across Australia. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's family, kinship structures are strong and sophisticated. The significant contributions of Aboriginal peoples and Torres Strait Islander peoples in the present and past are acknowledged locally, nationally, and globally. The Australian Institute for Teaching and School Leadership has designed a set of teacher standards that teachers must meet to prove competency. There are two strands that focus on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander student needs. They are Standards 1.4, Strategies for Teaching Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Students, and Standard 2.4, Understand and Respect Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people to promote reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. These standards have been used to create the RRR program, Respect, Relationships, and Reconciliation. The first objective of the RRR program is respect. Respect is essential for any classroom environment. According to the New South Wales Department of Education and Training, showing respect occurs in many ways, such as wanting to speak, not asking too many direct questions, ensuring that people are not made to feel uncomfortable or uneasy, and generally showing regard for the ideas, beliefs, and cultures of others. Respect is especially important when discussing sensitive topics and discussions that may focus on different cultural backgrounds, belief systems, or even opinions in our classrooms. The second objective of the program focuses on relationships. Relationships and connectedness are an underlying feature of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander ways of thinking, being, relating, and seeing. Cultural and kinship connections are essential to the well-being of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities. According to the program, students require an understanding of contemporary, intercultural relationships, including relationships to family, relationships to country and place, and relationships to sea and sky. The last objective of the program is reconciliation. This refers to a process of building relationships between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander and non-Indigenous peoples that enables us to work together to close gaps in equality and to achieve a shared sense of fairness and justice. Education is a vital aspect when trying to close the gap between equality and achievement. So, how are we going to teach this? The teaching pedagogy at VU Primary is varied, as each individual teacher has a different belief about how students learn best. However, helping our students achieve the best of their ability is crucial for each teacher. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. This is the belief that each student learns in the way that is best suited to them, and teachers need to differentiate their practice to meet each learning style so that each student has the best chance to succeed. Lev Vygotsky's theory of scaffolded learning. This is a process where teachers add supports for their students in order to enhance learning and allow students to accomplish tasks. The teacher does this by gradually increasing students' experiences and knowledge as they learn new skills. John Hattie's idea of visible learning. Hattie's ideas suggest that teachers are more likely to have a large and positive impact on students if they are passionate about helping their students learn, clear on what they want their students to learn, adopt evidence-based teaching strategies, actively seek to improve their own teaching, and are viewed by their students as being credible sources. Through our excursion to the Melbourne Museum, the students can be further educated on the importance of the reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. Through the interactive exhibits at Bunjalaka, such as the videos that explain the history of Indigenous Australians in Melbourne and the hands-on displays of cultural artefacts, students can become immersed in the Indigenous Australian culture, rather than merely discussing the subject in the classroom. Bunjalaka also offers your teaching staff professional development tools so they are able to further their knowledge of Indigenous Australian culture, allowing your children to experience more authentic learning. Through the displays of things such as Bunjal, students can learn the cultures and beliefs, and teachers are able to bring this into the classroom. Throughout this unit, students will be given the opportunity for inquiry, working on questions such as how do people contribute to their communities, past and present? And what events do different people and groups celebrate and commemorate? And what does this tell us about our communities? This allows our students to have an appreciation for other cultures and the ways that they celebrate. Through the visit to Bunjalaka, students can learn in an interactive way and discover the answers to these questions independently. Thank you, family and friends, and get ready for an amazing adventure with VU Primary.